What is up, guys? So we are back. Season 4 of the LBA, it ended. We made it to the second round of the playoffs. We were one of the best teams in the Magma division coming in as rookies. And now that season's over, the champion was crowned as D-Train, Verlet was the runner-up, and now it's drafting time. And so today I am bringing you my LBA Season 5 draft analysis. So going into this draft, I had the third overall picked in the Zeta division, and right away I knew that I wanted Excadrill for several reasons. First of all, because I definitely had in my mind that the sand core of Excadrill and Sandstream either Hippowdon or Tyranitar, preferably Tyranitar because Tyranitar did a ton of work for me last season and it's more offensive. And so yeah, Excadrill, first of all, that sand sweeping ability. Another reason is it's the best rapid spinner in the entire game in my opinion, and rapid spinners are a hot commodity in the format, so I definitely wanted to get a good one early, so that was just another reason. And Excadrill is one of my favorite Pokemon to use of all time, and it's going to do a lot of work for me. I can guess it has 3 really good abilities in Sand Rush, Sand Force, and Mold Breaker. All of them have their uses, and I don't know if I'll ever use Sand Force, but I could, and it'd be cool. And so yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on Excadrill. It's such a huge threat, as some cool coverage options. It doesn't have the most diverse move pool, but it can definitely hit a lot of things, and it's so powerful, especially in the sand when you can run Adamant Nature and then have a Life Orb. You can just be hitting things for massive amounts of damage, and if you can get a Sword Dance, it's basically over for your opponent. Now the next pick. So originally my plan for the second round pick was Tyranitar. I definitely wanted Tyranitar round 2, but there was about 5 picks before me in the second round, and how the draft goes, it's snake. So we start at the number 1 and it goes down to number 16, and then number 16 starts the second round and it goes up from there. So I had about 26 picks between Excadrill and my next pick. So that was part of the reason why I wanted Excadrill first, because there's no way I was going to be getting it past the first round. And so like I said, we wanted Tyranitar round 2. However, at this point, both Tyranitar and Hippowdon were left untouched, and the 2 people above me, Eli and D-Train, they have 4 picks between my second round pick and my third round pick, which is pretty nice having that wheel. And based on their teams, I did not expect them to take either of the sand users, let alone both of them. So, and the main thing is I saw both Talonflame and Greninja still on the board at that point with about 4 or 5 picks to go. So I was thinking, okay, round 2 I can get Talonflame or Greninja and still be able to easily have a Sand Sweeper and probably Tyranitar. So Talonflame was the one I wanted more than Greninja, because Bird Spam is really, really good with Excadrill. And what do you know? We got Talonflame, and that's absolutely incredible. I did not expect it to drop to round 2, late round 2, because it's always been a round 1 pick. And it completely changed how my plan was going. I was planning to have a really bulky team, and this is where maybe we could just run super duper offensive. That was when it was kind of sneaking into my mind, but it wasn't. I still wasn't sure at this point. So next round 3, I was confident I could get Tyranitar, and what do you know? I did get Tyranitar, and I forgot to talk about Talonflame, so let's talk about that. Talonflame, it's really, really good. It's not strong, but Priority Brave Birds makes it a fantastic revenge killer. It gets Will-O-Wisp, it gets Priority Roost, Brave Bird, of course, Acrobatics, Tailwind, and I guess HP Flying if you want, but that'd be ridiculous. And yeah, gets Stab Flare Blitz as well. I like Will-O-Wisp, and another nice toy it gets is Natural Gift, and also I have some pretty cool set ideas that I received from my buddy Bird, so that'll be fun, who's in the other division. So that's Talonflame out of the way, and also U-Turn is awesome, especially with sand. Next, we do have Tyranitar, so the draft is going even better than perfect at this point, because we got Talonflame, which I didn't even consider it would like drop to me. So we got Talonflame, we got Tyranitar, and we got Excadrill, and I said that out of order, but I love Tyranitar. I did really well with it last season, got 16 kills and 8 deaths, and It's going to be my sand setter, which is really key to make Excadrill even more of a threat. And Tyranitar does so many things. It can set up rocks, it can be bulky, it can be an offensive on both sides for both bulks and both offenses. It can be mixed. I can run whatever item. I don't feel compelled to run the Smooth Rock, and I don't feel compelled to run both Tyranitar and Excadrill every single game. They're good on their own, and they're even better together. So depending on the matchup, you'll see one, you'll see both, you'll see one, the other one, or you might even see neither, which would be interesting. Tyranitar can do a whole lot of things. It has so many coverage options, and it does give me another Stealth Rocker. I don't really plan on using Stealth Rocks on Excadrill unless I was running a bulky set, which I don't think I would be, but you never know what could happen in this crazy world of ours. But yeah, Tyranitar does a lot of things. Also gives me Pursuit Trap, which my team doesn't really mind Psychics or Ghost too much, but you know, it's there, and it's a great thing to have. So the next thing we wanted was, well, now we're looking at the team. We have a ground steel type, a flying fire type, and a dark rock type. So obviously the three biggest weaknesses are I guess grass to an extent, but water, fighting, and ground. While Talonflame is immune to ground and resist fighting, Pokemon that have ground and fighting moves generally can learn rock moves, and those can destroy Talonflame, so I didn't want to count on Talon to be checking that. So round 4, I wanted a grass type. The main one I had in mind was a Moongus, but it got sniped, and so after that I'm thinking, okay, a Moongus is gone, what other grass types could we get? And I was thinking, okay, so there's Chestnut, no, not Chestnut, it's too early in the draft for that, and I don't especially want it for this kind of deal. And I was thinking Celebi's another good one, definitely. It gets up rocks, it resists all the prerequisites, but then I thought there's still Serperior. Serperior is still around in round 4. I don't think it's going to be getting around there, and what do you know, I got Serperior, so I got pretty lucky in that, and I sniped the guy directly above me, Eli. He was planning to take it, so now we got a really, really offensive core. And the other thing I planned to take on this wheel was a fast electric type. And Jolteon and Raikou were already gone, and I didn't have Mega, and I decided to take Mega Manectric. I could have taken Manectric first and Serperior second, but then I wouldn't have Serperior. I decided that neither D-Train or Eli would be taking Manectric because Eli had a Thundurus and D-Train already had his Mega, so I figured both of them would appreciate having Serperior, so I took Serperior first and then Manectric following that because I knew it would be safe. So at this point, we have an extremely offensive team. We've got Excadrill with the Sand and Tyranitar, Talonflame, Serperior, which does a fantastic job. It does check waters. It breaks down all the bulky waters, and then we have Mega Manectric, gives me Volt Switch. It outspeeds pretty much everything. No one drafted like Mega Beedrill, Aerodactyl, or Sceptile in this division, but there is one Mega Alakazam, so it outspeeds all but one Pokemon in the entire division. Since there's a Mega Lopunny, but I don't face it, I do face a Mega Lop in round 12 of the crossovers, and we're only playing 12 weeks, and there's 16 teams in each division, and we have 2 crossovers, so we're only playing 10 matches, and of course that means that we're not going to be playing 6 teams in a division, which kind of helps me because some of the teams I don't play have things that are good against me, so I'm happy about that. But anyways, we got Mega Manectric, absolutely perfect for this team, and fast electric types in general are great, and I think Mega Manectric's the best one since it does get fire coverage to hit steals and things like that, and it's just absurdly fast. Base 135, Mega Alakazam outspeeds it, Mega Lopunny speed ties it, that's it. No other thing that I face this entire year can outspeed or speed tie it but those two. So that is really good, and we got the Volt switching action, which I like, paired with Talonflame, and gives us another way to beat things like bulky waters in case I don't bring Serperior or it's gone. So that's all good. Now round 6, we're starting to transgress into getting a little bulk, because we have 5 Pokemon that are very offensive. Tyranitar, it can be run bulky, and I will run it bulky at times. Talonflame can make a shoddy bulky user. I'm not going to be running, I guess, Excadrill. You can slap in Assault Vest or run Special Defense because it has good HP stat, and I guess Superior maybe as a Special Defense mon, but for the most part I will be running all those guys as attackers except for Tyranitar because it can check like any Psychic or Ghost. But yeah, so at this point we're gonna go into bulk, and I wasn't ready to go full-fledged bulk, so our round 6 there was one thing I wanted, and that was Gothitelle, and yeah, we got it. So I got Gothitelle, and that's absolutely perfect because it's trapping, and I'm extremely comfortable trapping things, especially since I have a Volt Turn combo with Manectric and Talonflame. I can Volt Switch and U-turn out and get against things that I don't like, and get a free drop and a free trap into Gothitelle and pick off the thing that threatens my team, and then I can just go wild from there with the mon that was being checked by that. So Gothitelle works absolutely perfect for me. It can be bulky, it can be offensive, it can Cleric, I believe, but I don't think I'll be running that because my next pick was Blissey, pretty much our only dedicated wall of this draft. The reason I took Blissey is because I want something to take Bolt Beam. Tyranitar can do it, but Tyranitar doesn't have instant recovery. Blissey has instant recovery. It can Cleric, it has outstanding coverage, and unlike its younger sister Chansey, who we had last season, it can actually hit back, so subbing Ghost types won't be as huge an issue as it was last year, if you recall. Mew vs. Freedomion. It's got base 70 special attack, so it can definitely do something. It's not as bulky as Chansey, but Chansey was gone, and I didn't want Chansey anyways. And this thing gives us a reliable rock setter because I don't love running rocks on Tyranitar all that much, and especially not on Excadrill. So that'll be our main rocker for the most part. Gives us Cleric, potentially gives us Wish support. I don't like Wish passing that much, so I could run a couple times, but I'll probably be running like Soft Boiled and Heal Bell and all that stuff. It can Thunder Wave things, which is fantastic. Oh, I forgot to mention, yes, Gothitelle can Thunder Wave things, and also paralyze things with Glare on Superior, so we're gonna, as well as Tyranitar using Thunder Wave, so we're gonna be paralyzing stuff this season. I'm definitely planning on getting things paralyzed, slowed down, and then I just tear their team apart. That's kind of how we're thinking. Blissey, yeah, it gives me a switch in for special attacks, which is kind of nice. Obviously, it's kind of weird having just like one wall on an offensive team, but I can run Gothitelle bulky, I can run Tyranitar bulky, and my remaining monster from here can be bulky. So yeah, Bliss, I felt it was a pretty cool pick, and Cooper Kashiro, the Utah Jasmine, did bless me, hoping that my graces were serene and my cures were natural. So, you know, that's a thing. I'm excited to use this thing. It can do a lot of stuff as a wall. So, and then round 8. Originally, we still have no resist. We only have 1 resistance to water. So originally, I wanted a water immunity, but I was talking out with Gio, my good friend, and he said, you know, water is it. You don't really need a water immunity. You do have the Serp, which can take a water hit, and Mega Manectric. So water immunity is not a big thing, and I was like, okay, well, I still would like a water type. Originally, I wanted Slowking because it can take on any water hit, and it's just a good bulky thing that also takes fighting moves, because I'm extremely weak to fighting as well. And though I do have Goth and Talonflame, I don't see them as direct answers all the time. So originally I wanted Slowking. Unfortunately, it did get sniped from me by JJ, so that was my main thing, and I was just looking down the line of waters I could take. I considered Jellicent because it also gave me immunity to fighting as well as water, but I don't like Jellicent. It's horrible. It's too frail for a wall type. And then I noticed, holy hell, Feraligator's not drafted yet. And lo and behold, I was able to get Feraligator with the 8th pick of the draft. That's absolutely unbelievable, taking something this threatening this late. It can be run mixed, it can go fully physical, or it can go fully special. Sheer Force is a god gift, and it's just going to be really, really good. overall. And now I was saying jokingly, I do have a fire, water, grass core of win conditions, where Talonflame is a win condition, Surf is a win condition. Now for Alligator, I really like its offensive versatility, and it isn't that it's pretty bulky. It can take a hit from full if I need it to, and then knock something out in return. So this was another thing that was definitely not in the plan, but I'm very happy I got it, because it just makes my team even more scary, because I'm just stacking offense on offense on offense with a Blissey and a Gothitelle, which Gothitelle is still really scary. So I'm just trying to instill fear into people's hearts. And now the next one, I kind of, with my last 2 picks of the round, I knew of the draft, I kind of knew that I wasn't going to be picking up humongous threats that are going to take people's lives, because they're not really there. However, I still would like another water resist. I wanted a another ground resist and another fighting resist, and also something that could take knockoffs and just dark and moves in general. And the Pokemon that fit the bill absolutely perfectly to that is Whimsicott, as it also gives me immunity to Dragon. Now, I did have to snipe my friend to get Whimsicott, but it works so perfectly on my team that I just can't not have it at this point. Whimsicott does so many things in this format, and I really like it. It can U-turn, it has Prankster as an Infiltrator, it has Chlorophyll, I guess, if I wanted to use that against, I think Bogut took Charizard Y, so if I wanted to make this a Sun Sweeper, but it's fast anyways. It has Stab, Moonblast, and Giga Drain. While it's weak, it can still hurt a little bit, and it has Priority, Stun Spore, Toxic, Leech Seed. Like, this is another mon that can paralyze stuff, so that was absolutely perfect with me, because I like doing that. And U-turn gets Memento, Tailwind, a whole lot of stuff that my team really likes to be paired up with, and it just fit my team really well synergistically. That typing is really cool, the Fairy and Grass, and it gives me a second Grass type, which I don't mind, because I can take on fire types with Tyranitar and Gator and Talonflame, if you will. But so that was a really perfect round 9, and round 10 I had a lot of things in mind. So some of the things I had in mind were another hazard removal. My main ones were Gligar and Golbat. Those both got sniped. Next one, I kind of considered Gourgeist, and I also wanted Cofagrigus as my round 8 originally, but that got sniped as well. So I was thinking we could get a Ghost, but the only good bulky Ghost is Gourgeist, and we already have 2 Grasses. I think 3 is a bit excessive, so I wasn't going to go with that route. I kind of wanted Wheezing, because it gave me a ground immunity and a fighting resist. That got sniped. What else was there? I think that was about it for some things I wanted, and the last thing on my list of things to take was Reuniclus. This thing is, I'm really happy about getting this thing, especially in round 10, because it can do a lot of stuff as well. It has instant recovery and has 3 fantastic abilities in Overcoat, Regenerator, and Magic Guard. It has really good stats. It has about, I believe 110 HP and pretty solid defenses, where it can be run. They're in like the 70s or 80s in defenses, so that HP and defense will allow me to run either defense if I need it. It's good check for fighting types, and it has 125 base special attack with a really cool move pool. So this thing can do a whole lot of things. Yeah, I know I have 2 mono psychic types, Gothitelle and Reuniclus, both 5th gen. I have a lot of 5th gen stuff on this team. That now that I notice, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that 6? No, it's 5. I'm silly. Yeah. We have 2 psychics, but I don't really mind, because I have an answer for knockoff. I have an answer. There's not that much stuff that uses bug moves, and like, I don't face normal Scizor and I don't face Volcarona, and I'm not too concerned about Mega Scizor, because I do have Mega Manectric and a Talonflame, and among other things. So like, yeah, it's scary, but I can handle it. And just because I have 2 psychics doesn't mean I'm going to be running them in the same team every single time. Like, I can, and I probably will at some points, but like, I'm not just going to be stacking all the same weaknesses every single time. And yeah, so that's my draft. We got an extremely offensive team, and the theme of this year's nicknames is anime names. So and I'm actually going to be breeding my original 10 Pokemon, and then I'll be editing them with PKX from there and giving them anime nicknames. So far I have about, well, I'm bringing my Tyranitar over from my box from last year. I got my Excadrill done. I got my Superior, Manectric, Bliss. They're all bred out. Gotta do the rest of them. And my voice is cracking. That's funny. But yeah, that's another thing. So our 10 Pokemon. And also note, I don't have a legendary, and the legendary rule for the LBA was taken off, but I just didn't see the need to get any. So we got Excadrill, Talonflame, Tyranitar, Superior, Mega Manectric, Gothitelle, Blissey, Feraligatr, Whimsicott, and Reuniclus. A lot of people are very, very scared of this team, and I completely understand why. I would be scared of this team too, because it is very, very offensive, and at the same time, I have annoying things like Whimsicott. I have Bliss, which can be an annoyance. Reuniclus is my wild card along with Gothitelle, because they can go bulky or offensive. Same with Tyranitar. And I just put a lot of pressure on people's teams, like trapping. If they have a solid check to something, I can trap it. And Gothitelle with trapping, it can either get rid of things or make them run useless items like Shed Shell, which just make them a lot less effective, and that's perfectly fine with me. So that's our team. That is the Shadow Valley Murkrow's Season 5 team. I am so ecstatic to use this group. We're looking like we're going to be top contenders as long as I don't get hacks and I play my normal game. Funny thing is, my original idea for my draft was Excadrill, Tyranitar, Zapdos, and then we're going to go Mega Gardevoir, which got taken early. It was still in my... Mega Gardevoir was still in my plans until it got sniped. And then like Blissey, Vaporeon, Zapdos core. So it's been really bulky, and we probably stalled people out at times, but hell, we got major offense, and I'm fine with that because I'm very comfortable with this kind of setting. I've used quite a few of these Pokemon. I haven't used Whimsicott, Gator, or Reuniclus that much. I haven't used Blissey at all, actually, but I know how to use Gothitelle. I know how to use my first 5 picks pretty well, and I'll definitely be digging deep into the archive to see if I can make up some cool stuff. So that's it, your Shadow Valley Murkrow's Season 5. We got lots of threats, lots of offense, and hopefully that'll be our ticket to victory and make playoff. Our first goal is to make playoffs, and then from there we'll move on out. The competition overall looks pretty good, and my first game is against Nasser, who was actually one of my first games last year too. It was my second game, but still in the first week. He has Bisharp and Mega Mancham. Those are scary, but I can handle them. And yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure to put your Murkrow hats on or whatever. There's no merchandise, by the way. I'm too cheap. And yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed this analysis. Hopefully it wasn't too long for you. 25 minutes-ish isn't horrible, I say. And yeah, if you did like this, make sure to leave a comment. If you have any questions about what I took or why I didn't take something or something like that, make sure to leave it in the comments. I'm happy to answer them, and hope you all have a good day, and hope you enjoy Season 5 Shadow Valley Murkrows, because I know I will. And yeah, peace.